Welcome back. Ever since Donald Trump took over the Republican Party in the spring, political journalists have been obsessed with this question. How will the Republican Party fix itself? After Tuesday's elections, the Republican Party seems pretty fixed. They still hold a majority of the Senate. They'll be defending far fewer seats than the Democrats in 2018. They still hold the House with a very healthy majority in Republican hands. They gained 2 more state houses, which means they now have at least 33 of the country's 50 governorships. The race in North Carolina, by the way, remains undecided, though the Democrat is ahead. And Republicans control 32 state legislatures to just 13 for the Democrats, with 4 states divided. And with Trump's victory, Republicans have now grabbed the one office that they seem destined to lose for years, and that was the presidency. So now the question we're asking is this: how does the Democratic Party fix itself? Well, joining me now is a man who both Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren believe is the answer to the question of who should lead the Democratic Party out of this wilderness. It's Congressman Keith Ellison of Minnesota. Congressman, welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks, Chuck. How are you?
I'm okay. So word is you're announcing officially that you're jumping into the race to be Democratic National Committee chair tomorrow. Is that true?
Well, Chuck, let me tell you, I've been talking to a lot of people, basic organizers at the Democratic base level, also members of Congress, labor leaders, all types of folks. And I'm telling you, I'm going to do my good part. I'll let my decision be known tomorrow or soon enough. But the real question is not what one person's going to do. What are we all going to do? How are we all going to pitch in to fix this party to make working America know that the Democratic Party is absolutely on their side? That's the real question.
Yeah, why do you think they work in? I mean, let's talk to both your state and Minnesota. You've seen all the counties that flipped Obama to Trump. Michigan, there were Obama 12 voters that voted Trump. And it's clear it was an economic message that they were trying to send. How did this happen?
Well, I think that people have been looking at 40 years of flat wages. You know, the reality is you got folks in diners and hair shops and barbershops all over this country who look at their own lives and think, you know, my parents did better than I'm doing, and my kids might not do as well as I'm doing. And that's because wages have been flat for so long. They feel like there's 2 systems of justice, you know. Over there at Wells Fargo, you know, you had the scandal going on there. The CEO leaves with a big giant package, and other folks getting a whole lot of trouble for doing a lot less. The truth is that we have got to make America work for working people again. We have to have a shared prosperity. We have to make that our job number one. Now, you know, Chuck, 4 minimum wage ballot measures succeeded on Tuesday. You know, I mean, people want a better economic playing field for working Americans, and they're voting for it. Our job is to make sure that people know that the Democratic Party is the party that is going to deliver that for them. And that means strengthening the grassroots. Yeah. That means strengthening the local precinct, county level, and making sure that we're all channeled on massive turnout for that program.
Do you think the Clinton brand actually hurt in that, you know, you had Bill Clinton was the signer of NAFTA. You look in this Rust Belt, it was something Donald Trump reminded these voters a lot of. And Hillary Clinton didn't spend a lot of time in rural America in particular. So I guess 2 questions for you. Do you think the Clinton brand itself was maybe too tainted with big donations, big money, NAFTA going back there? And second, do you think Democrats were perceived as looking down on rural America?
I tell you whose brand was tainted is Donald Trump. I mean, this guy was tainted every kind of way you could imagine. I mean, no way in the world that Donald Trump is a champion of working people. He has hurt workers in Las Vegas, Atlantic City, Florida, multiple bankruptcies, never showed his taxes. I don't know any good thing this guy has ever done. And yet, because he was able to throw hate and poison on Hillary Clinton, he was able to somehow prevail, at least in terms of the Electoral College. He actually lost the popular vote. But, you know, I mean, I think he was skilled at just sort of like keeping the attention on anyone but himself. I mean, but this guy is the most outrageous person ever to win a presidential election.
So no fault. You don't put this fault on Clinton at all?
I'm not going to get up here and cast fault on Democrats. I think that, look, negative campaigning, people do it because sometimes it works. And in this particular case, him saying all this kind of stuff that he said, you know, had an impact. But the real question is, how do we go forward? And my point is, we've got to go to the doors. We've got to go directly to the people from the party unit by strengthening folks at the grassroots level to bring a message of economic prosperity for working people. That's what we got to do.
The job of DNC chair, many people believe now, is a big full-time job. David Axelrod, President Obama's longtime political advisor, said he's agnostic as to who, but Dems should pick a full-time party chair. The job just became infinitely more demanding and important. And obviously, you've heard Howard Dean in announcing said, as much as he likes you, he thinks you can't both do the job of DNC chair and serve in Congress. What do you say to that?
I say the most important criteria is vision. What is your vision for the party? Do you have a vision to strengthen the grassroots and help them turn out people in their local communities? That's the real thing.
So you can do both jobs?
The real question is, yes, I can. But the fact is that the real question is not about one person. It's not about an individual. It's about millions of people working all over this country to reach out in their local communities. And the DNC chair has to help them do that and have a vision for that and have the energy for that.
Let me ask the question this way. If you decide not to run, why would that be? What's the reason not to do it if you decide not to do it?
Because there's a lot of places that I can serve, and I'm going to serve. I'm going to be fighting to rebuild the Democratic Party no matter what. I'm going to be fighting to make sure the Democratic Party is known among working people that we are their champion no matter what. So I'm not really. I'm looking for a place to serve. I'm looking for a place to be of use and benefit. And every single Democrat in this country better be thinking the exact same way. How can we help the average American worker? Right out there, worrying about whether that plant's going to close, fighting for them, standing up for them. That's what the story is.
Keith Ellison.
What can we all do?
Keith Ellison, Democrat from Minnesota, Congressman, and we'll find out tomorrow, it sounds like, what your final decision is on whether to jump into the race to be DNC chair. Thanks for coming on Meet the Press, sir.
Anytime.
When we come back, did Hillary Clinton lose because Obama voters didn't show up, or did she lose because Obama voters voted for Trump?